and I'm not picking on anyone, but I live, breathe, and love this stuff. So I think people can see that and feel that energy coming from me. Over the last few weeks, as I've left my W-2 job, I think people have actually seen a new energy in me. So my YouTube channel is Real Estate Money with Daryl.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have a channel yet. It's just Cornerstone CPA right now. So Daryl, you started a channel recently, YouTube. Any other areas as well inside of YouTube?
No other. Well, I have, of course, Instagram, Facebook. I was advised to start a TikTok. Apparently, that's popular.
Yeah.
So I just started that yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just started doing that, and there was a reason for it, is because you just started doing real estate full time. And so, but whereas before this, it was kind of in addition to other kind of full time jobs you're doing hospitality wise. But what made you make the leap?
Yeah. So I mean, it's really been 12 years in the making, Greg.
Okay.
For 12 years, I've wanted to pursue real estate full time, and I've always had real estate going on in the background. A real estate agent for 8 years now. I've probably flipped, 6 to 8 properties, and built 5 new units, new construction units, and it's always been the passion. But banks love W-2 income to give you loans,
right?
And so that's what's kept me tied to my desk. The last 2 years, I have elevated in my position, in my role, and I was overseeing 6 Marriott properties across 2 states. And I was traveling between 2 and 4 weeks out of every single month to Louisiana, to Texas, to Eastern Arkansas. And I decided after about 1.5 years, this is taking away from my real estate. As an agent, as an investor, as a flipper, everything I had going on was kind of, I don't want to say crumbling, but it was being impacted significantly enough for me to say, hey, look, it's time to just commit to this full time. Out of the last 8 years, I've had 2 years where, my income in real estate exceeded, you're my accountant. I don't know, maybe you can, I don't remember if it's 2 or 1 or 0, but approximately 2 out of the last 8 years, the income in real estate exceeded W-2. But now I just feel like I've hit critical mass, and I'm jumping both feet in off the high dive. Here I am.
So one thing that comes to mind with that is I know the real estate market in Northwest Arkansas, especially agents, is just extremely saturated. So I think the last stat I heard was like 4,000 plus agents in the area.
Yeah.
So that probably helps build some credibility behind it too, versus just kind of being a side agent for things. It's like, hey, if folks are wanting to work with you, it's not like, hey, I'll get to you when I have time. Now it's like, hey, I can use all my resources for you. I've got a lot more time available to invest in what you're looking for.
Yeah. That is so true. And starting this channel, it's interesting. I think I've had it for 2 weeks now, and I've already had a client come to me because they've seen the videos and they understand now I'm in this all in, and they've come to me with other agents in their pockets and other options, but they know and understand everything I know and understand. And so we align really well. And I think that, the SOI, the sphere of influence, that business has not truly been, I haven't hit the full potential of it. Because of guys like that who just come to me with my YouTube channel. And as people understand more and more that I'm in this full time and committed to my clients, it feels really good to say, hey, I have an opening in my schedule.
Right.
Come on, let's do this. Let's make something work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I do have some other clients too that they've got a full-time W-2 job and they do this real estate stuff on the side. And it typically turns into like, I just do this for some friends and family. It's like real one-off stuff. Was like, now it's like the market's open for you. And so you're able to apply yourself, whoever's got a need for it.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is too, a lot of competition. But I do believe that real estate is, the top and the bottom. I think there's a wide separation of good and bad. And I'm not picking on anyone, but I live, breathe, and love this stuff. So I think people can see that and feel that energy coming from me. Over the last few weeks, as I've left my W-2 job, I think people have actually seen a new energy in me that they haven't really seen before, and even in my family. So they see it, and as I put out more content, and I really do. The whole point of my content, truly, Greg, is to get people into the investor bucket, right? Because you can be a real estate agent, you can dabble in flips, and other active incomes,
right?
But to be an investor, that's where I want everyone to be. And so if I can get more people in that bucket with my content, that's the goal.
Yeah. So who's kind of your target? Are you looking for true investors or maybe homeowners or a mix of both?
So currently looking for a mix of both.
Okay.
It's funny. I like to try to turn the homeowners and convert them into investors.
Yeah.
And so, anyone who comes to me and wants to list their home, I try to give them the benefits of keeping it as a rental, if it's an option at all, right? Some people need that equity, or they might need they're moving to a different state. It could be a number of things, but a homeowner, it really feels nice to put someone in the right area.
Yeah.
Because there's so many little pockets in Northwest Arkansas. And so getting to know someone and coming from a hospitality background, understanding their goals and needs and objectives, that's my number one priority, because then I can say, this is the pocket. This is the neighborhood you need to be in. This is the city. This is the area that you need to be near this building or this company, or whatever your needs and ultimate goals are. If I can put a homeowner in their area, that feels really good. But I would love to work with investors for the next 20 years and help them build out their portfolio to retire, their portfolio to pass on to their children, their legacy, whatever it might be that their goals are.
So speaking of the market and where specifically to buy or invest in, when I talk to a lot of folks, they want to talk with people that have walked the walk, not just talk the talk kind of thing. But I know you've specifically been an investor for the last several years. So what markets have you typically looked at? I mean, is Northwest Arkansas kind of your own area, or you branch out? And then what's kind of your aspirations too?
Yeah, I stick to Northwest Arkansas. I know it. I love it. I study it. I look for three things, and I think I've done a video on it, but parks, roads, and schools, right? The three things that you're likely not going to see demolished and transferred to a new location overnight. And I've always bought near those things personally, and then advising other people to do the same. So if you know where the new roads are going, for example, I'll give you one great example. I love the road that's going to basically join downtown Rogers to Bentonville, or the global Walmart headquarters.
Okay.
So
that's a new hot spot.
It's going to be a 6.5 mile stretch.
Yeah.
And there's also the qualified opportunity zone that's in the northwest quadrant of downtown Rogers. And that's just south of where that road's going. So you're going to have big institutional investors that want to put their money there in the northwest quadrant. Right? There might be hotels. There might be other things going on. So that's a great area if you want to build something for the future. That's a great spot to go, a great spot to put it. And that's just one example. Not to say that there's not 100 others out there, but I love that area. And I think that if somebody wants to go in, there's already investors talking about building hotels down there from investors from New York, from Miami. They're looking to partner with the city and build hotels. So if you know that information and you're working with an agent who stays informed, then I can point you in those directions.
So that kind of opens up a segue then of, are you not just doing residential? You're even looking at the commercial side of things?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, and office is one that's really interesting for me right now. As a whole, Northwest Arkansas, we're at a 5% vacancy rate. The country's at about a 20% vacancy rate. Now, if you look around, there's a lot of office space that's being built, and it's Class A. So I don't think that the rental rates are going to be able to sustain themselves long term.
I agree.
I think in 5 years, you're probably going to see maybe a slight decline with the buildup. But I think there's some opportunities for some of that Class C and D to get renovated. And as long as you underwrite it appropriately, I think there's some very good upside there.
Yeah. It makes me think, I was just in Cleveland a few weeks ago. Totally different kind of market, but I mean, it historically was a very saturated place.
Yeah.
But when I was there, it was like a ghost town. Like, a lot of commercial.
Okay.
I mean, from what I had heard, it was, I think 5 years ago, there was 1 million residents in Cleveland.
Okay.
And then this year, it's down to like 300,000. I mean, you could walk, I mean, it's a major city, but you could literally walk the main roads and not worry about traffic or anything. So talk about a decline or vacancy rate of things, like nobody was in downtown area. But you look downtown, Bentonville, Rogers, like it's always congested on there.
Yeah.
It's a stark difference between Northwest Arkansas is so insulated. The way I like to say it is like, not to toot too much of Walmart's horn on this, but it's like when the economy's going really well, Walmart's usually doing well, and therefore the rest of Northwest Arkansas is doing well. And then when the economy's not going so well, more people are probably shopping at Walmart to try to save some money. Therefore, Walmart's benefiting from that. Therefore, Northwest Arkansas is benefiting from that. So we've got a pretty good economic shield here, which just helps with more people are wanting to move in. We've got a lot of investment that happens here in Northwest Arkansas versus people moving out. More people are moving in here than ever before. I can't remember if it's like the second or first largest growing county or area in the country. And so that leaves you with a lot of work when you get new people coming in, whether they're homeowners or they're looking to be investors.
Yeah, very true. And a quick question on Cleveland. Did you talk to anyone from Cleveland that had any insight as to why or what happened with the decline?
My wife's got a cousin that lives there, and from what I understand, is just, I can't quite put my finger on it. It was the weirdest thing because she didn't give me quite an answer on to why people are moving out. I don't know if it's folks were just tired of the big city life, but I mean, even on normal weeknights, like restaurants are closed at 5 o'clock or even not even open on Mondays kind of thing. So it was, we were there for a large national conference, but there was nowhere to go for the nightlife or anything. It was a strange feeling.
Man, that is really odd. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the net migration here in Northwest Arkansas, I think it's the last number I heard was 28 people a day that move into the area. Now, I think 28 is kind of people always say 28, but come on, at least half of those are families, right? So, how many families, or true households are being formed in Northwest Arkansas? I think those stats would matter more from a real estate perspective. But I think you're right. Walmart does insulate us a lot, and it makes us a little bit more resilient. The real question is, what is our biggest risk in Northwest Arkansas? And I always ask myself that because you, as an investor, you always want to know, hey, this is what could potentially happen, and this is what you need to be looking out for. Like a 5% vacancy rate in office right now, everybody's excited, but really the people who've had the office space for the last, 3 to 10 years maybe, they're the ones benefiting.
Right.
So who's going to hop in and take that? Is it a risk or is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Yeah, time will tell.
Time will tell.
Right.
Yeah. And so I'm very interested in the commercial space too. Commercial and residential really do align with one another. The more residents and the better residential's doing, typically the better commercial's doing, right? Because the businesses or the people that are living in the homes feed the businesses. And I hate to say it, but we have to continue to expand our consumption in order for those businesses to succeed. Yeah. And so we have to have more households to expand that, local GDP, if you will. But so I'm very interested in it. And as the real estate market transitions into a buyer's market, I think there's a lot of panic right now, and people should understand. For the last 6-7 years, we have on average sold about 850 to 920 homes a month on average, and that still continues. Yeah, that has not changed. So we still sell the same number of homes every single month. Yeah, we just have more listings, and so people kind of have this nervous energy about them.
There's a little bit of lag time now between listing and sale.
Yeah.
Okay.
As an investor, right, you could get some deals with people panicking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as an agent, I always advise and do not want to take advantage of anyone. I had a client, he's not a client, sorry. He's actually listed with another agent. But he reached out to me and said, hey, I'm a little nervous, you know. He had been on the market for 16 days, listed for $310,000. And I looked at his listing. And I said, hey, your agent's done a great job. The marketing looks good. The pictures look good. Like the description, everything on all the platforms, everything looked good from the agent's position and what she had done. And I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I'm just nervous. What would you offer me? And I said, $261,000, closing in 10 days, you know, as is. He said, let me think about that, but I think I'm interested. And I said, I advise you to not take my offer. Do not take my offer. I said, just trust the process.
Yeah.
You know, let it sit there. I said, it's going to take 5 or 6 months to close. Just wait 4 months. Give her 120 days. If it doesn't sell in 120 days, then call me.
Yeah.
But you have to be patient and don't panic, because an investor who doesn't really care about you getting top dollar will come in and say, I'll buy it for $260,000, $250,000, and people will take it. Yeah. And they can turn around and list it and make $20,000. You know, like they're not going to get rich overnight doing it, but I want people to maximize their sell price. Yeah. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to get it right now because of the panic.
So when you said 261 there, was that something you had just figured off the top of your head, or had you already analyzed the deal? So what I'm trying to get at is, like, we can kind of segue into deals here, because this is where we could probably get some tax side behind it too. Yeah. So when you said 261, what was it that got you to that point? Or was it just you've been in this market so long, you kind of understand it, or there's some analysis that you've done?
A little bit of both. So about 15% of the price that I would sell it at is what I want. So I basically gave him an 85% offer, approximately. Yeah. But really, the way I backwards out of it is 8% selling cost, right? So 6% commission on my side.
Yep. Or 2% closing.
2% closing. It's usually 1. I always try to put in 2 as a safety net. You never know. Yeah. And then there's all the carry costs that a lot of people forget, right? I might say I'm buying it cash, but I'm usually buying it with HELOC money, a line of credit, or private investor. And so that interest carry, the utility carry, insurance carry, those things add up. And those are, you know, generally, I would say probably 2 to 3%. Okay. And then the rest of it would be a profit, right? And I say profit, gross profit. And then, of course, the tax side, because that would be a short-term capital gains if I turned around and sold it. Yeah. So about $15,000 to $20,000 is what I would have cleared as a gross. Taxes, I probably would have made closer to 8 to 10. I don't know which. You know, it depends on what we could get out of it.
Yeah, if you held it short term or long term, and your overall tax picture. Yeah.
Now I did make I've always made these mistakes with short term and long term. I think it's best in this situation, and I think that this is something that maybe you can advise on.